Welcome back to Secret Revealed. Today, we're decoding one of the most cryptic and talked about visual puzzles of recent times, the 2026 cover of The Economist. Every year, their World In editions mix politics, culture, economics, and symbolism in surreal collage form. Some see these covers as artistic forecasts reflecting global themes. Others believe they hide deeper, coded narratives about world power, transformation, and conflict. Today we'll explore the symbols, the timing, and the meaning people are extracting from this specific cover. This isn't about claiming facts. It's about reading symbols like a language. Let's begin. Football takes center stage, instantly grounding the cover in a global event, the 2026 FIFA World Cup. The tournament will be co-hosted by the United States, Canada, and Mexico, the first edition featuring 3 nations working together on the world's biggest sports stage. Some interpret this as more than sports, a symbol of global unity amid global tension. Right below the footballer sits a celebratory cake marked 250. This points to a major American milestone, the 250th anniversary of the United States in 2026. The cake is colorful, patriotic, and festive, but coded interpretation enthusiasts dig deeper. They notice layers, patterns, and repeated elements, reading them like secret punctuation. 9 red cherries, 9 white cream swirls, the number 9 repeated visually. Some numerology experts online connect the number 9 to transformation, completion, and end of cycles. Instead of assuming darker meanings, symbol analysts interpret the 9s here as a marker for a major turning point or global system reset tied to American identity, leadership, and global influence. And of course, red and blue dominate the palette, mirroring the U.S. flag, but also the long-standing global theme of polarized power, opposing ideologies, and shifting alliances. Then we see crossed swords near a downward economic trend graph. Together, these clearly represent conflict, competition, and economic strain. Analysts believe this symbolizes the rise of trade tensions, sanctions as power tools, currency instability, and national economic rivalry reshaping the world stage in 2026. Next to it are 2 pennies featuring Abraham Lincoln, a historic yet subtly outdated currency symbol. The U.S. stopped minting pennies for circulation in recent times in high volume, making this coin a metaphorical relic. Symbol interpreters suggest the cover is reflecting the world's shift away from physical cash toward digital finance, a world where currency becomes invisible, centralized, and controlled more by data than metal or paper. Blank paper notes decorated with leaves reinforce this idea, money fading like leaves in the wind, economies going greener in messaging but more digital in reality. This could symbolize themes around central bank digital currencies, blockchain control, or the end of traditional financial anonymity. Side by side, we see Donald Trump and Narendra Modi, 2 influential political figures representing Western and Asian conservative leadership voices amid global restructuring. Their positioning suggests emerging relationships between U.S. and India, not necessarily literal plans, but strategic alignment rising in importance as Asia becomes a more powerful global theater. Then we see Giorgia Meloni in a bold red dress. She leads Italy, one of Europe's key political voices, often associated with nationalism, identity debates, and conservative resurgence in Europe. Some symbol experts interpret red here not as danger, but urgency, influence, and attention, suggesting Europe's role in 2026 might swing toward bolder positions on economy, border, identity, and alliances. Then we reach a set of visual metaphors that hint at tension escalating beyond economy. We see 2 glasses spilling red wine. Many symbolic analysts associate red fluid, especially wine, with sacrifice, spilling, consequence, or cost of power. In this interpretation, the wine isn't literal blood, but a metaphor for nations paying the price for conflict, influence, pride, or ambition. The fact that two glasses are spilling could mean mutual consequences between rival global powers. Then there are red balloons scattered across the page. In symbolism, balloons often represent lost innocence, distraction, celebration masking fragility, or things rising uncontrollably. Rather than interpreting literal harm, many symbolic researchers believe it points to global instability impacting younger generations, socially, digitally, economically, and that 2026 might be a year where youth are symbolically caught in the crosswind of world decisions. A hand in shackles emerges below the cake, one of the strongest messages on the cover. This is widely interpreted as a comment on liberty, public trust, system control, and political constraint. Instead of literal imprisonment, geopolitical analysts believe it symbolizes rising public debate around freedom, surveillance, policy control, social media regulation, and national tension between individual rights and centralized power. Right beside it sit missiles, representing the global rise in military spending, conflict technology, and defense priorities overtaking domestic concerns. This reflects 2026 as a year where power balances may increasingly lean on militarization, deterrence, and advanced weapons systems. And then appear combat drones, AI-enabled robots, and automated firearms, reinforcing a modern warfare prophecy not fought by soldiers alone, but autonomous systems. 2026 could be a year where AI conflict isn't science fiction, it's doctrine. And then there's Xi Jinping, the anchor of China's influence on the cover. Behind him, political allies. Near him, container ships launching projectiles toward America. Analysts read this as a metaphor for economic conflict turning hybrid, where trade lanes double as pressure routes and logistics become weapons of strategy. And the gaming controller placed behind Donald Trump's head gives an ironic symbolic punchline. The world isn't only about open conflict, but strategic psychology, influence games, media manipulation, and attention economics playing like chess and esports combined. Two syringes rest close to the missiles and drones. Public health analysts who interpret symbolic media claim these represent global themes around healthcare policy, medical innovation, vaccine diplomacy, biotech competition, and debates over public trust in institutional medicine. Not literal plans, but a reflection that 2026 may be a year where health systems, pharmaceutical influence, and biotech power become geopolitical currency. And finally, a broken gavel and a ballot box appear. This combination becomes a symbolic headline about justice and democracy undergoing strain. The broken gavel represents eroding public trust in legal neutrality, while the ballot box reflects ongoing global conversations around election transparency, digital voting integrity, misinformation influence, and contested mandates worldwide. So when we gather these elements, sports unity, patriotic milestones, digital finance revolution, economic conflict, AI warfare, legal distrust, and geopolitical psychology, the 2026 cover isn't a single prediction. It's a mosaic of tensions and transformations pointing to a world shifting faster than ever. Is it art? Yes. Is it meaningful art? Definitely. Is it a coded secret agenda? That interpretation lives in the eye of the viewer. What do you see when you look at the 2026 cover? A coincidence?